Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the You Spray podcast with Toddy and Mitch from the Spray Gun Club. Hope everyone is doing well out there. We've had some amazing weather in all parts of the country. So, painters, I hope you are out there getting a lot of spraying done and you are well into your run with Christmas, which is a crazy time of year. And welcome back, Toddy. How you been, bro? Good?
Yeah.
Good. That's good. Today's episode, we're just going to do a few things around the grounds. What's news? There's been a bit going on locally and some stuff around the country, which is exciting. First and foremost, Toddy, you had some training up in Brisbane recently. Give us a bit of a recap how that was.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
We had a couple full classes, which was good.
Mm-hmm.
I like having a full group because I think when you have smaller groups, they get a bit afraid of asking questions and talking.
Yeah.
It's good to get them kind of going, and then not having too large of a group, giving everyone the opportunity to sort of have a crack and have a go. Fair few DIYers even in the train 1 day sessions as well, which was always great to see.
Yeah.
Was more surprised by how many DIYers are prepared to invest in learning how to spray. Because oftentimes you find, painters, a lot of them are just stuck in their ways and just will never spray, or they're just afraid of the upfront cost or the ongoing costs, so they never really adopt it. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, no, I love it.
Well, that's good, man. And also something else I was going to chat about. You got invited to MPA Awards in Queensland again. How was that?
That was good. Saw a lot of old faces I haven't seen in a long time. Kind of, just seemed like every 2 seconds someone else would pop up that I just haven't seen in a long time, and was able to catch up, rekindle with. Saw a lot of my old colleagues from Dulux there, which was cool to catch up with them. A lot of old, from the wider days, old people I used to deal with at Waddle and Hames and Tobins and all that. So it was good to see all those guys. But yeah, it was a good night.
That's good. Did anyone get heaps of awards? Anyone in particular, or was it a bit of a mixed bag?
Heaps.
There's a lot of good painters up there.
Our mate Horatio got a few. YB had heaps. I saw Nelson's got a few. Yeah, seems like everyone won something. It was really good. Heaps more awards, I think. It seemed like there was a lot more categories or something this time around.
Yeah, right. And how is it compared to obviously you've been to the New South Wales one this year, which we both went to in Queensland, like any real differences?
There seems to be a lot better buy-in to the Queensland one.
Okay.
There would have been, I think there was just under 400 painters that attended, 400 that attended, which was quite a bit more than the last time I went. But they wouldn't have got nowhere near that in New South Wales.
Yeah.
So that was good. So it was good. It's good to see everyone.
And I mean, not to dive into every conversation that you had at the awards, but obviously you catch up with a lot of people. Like, what's the word out there? What are people talking about? Is there any concerns about the industry and where it's heading, or anything like that? What's the goss, basically? You know what I mean?
I mean, what I really liked about it was the amount of people that came up to me just saying, good job, we're really proud of what you guys are doing. The industry really needed a bit of a shakeup. I'm glad the business is going well. And cool that the painters, we don't get a whole lot of positive feedback from paid businesses because we're obviously making it a bit challenging for them. But it's good. It seemed like everyone was just like, good on you, Toddy. I'm glad you guys are killing it. It's been a long time since we've had someone to support us in this place. It was constantly hearing that all night. It's so good. So it's nice that we got a bit of a fan base there, people cheering us on, and that's kind of highlights that what we're doing is a good thing. And, we've got a lot of inquiries on training as well. Everyone wants to do training. It's just everyone's busy. The good painters are busy. It's finding the time is kind of a challenge for some of them. But yeah, it was awesome stick it to these guys, stick it to that guy, and why not? This is so good.
Everyone loves an underdog.
Yeah, loves it on. Aussies love the underdog.
Yeah. No, that's really cool to hear. A few things that we've been talking about lately. Word on the street is it's very hard to get wattle paint at the moment, and the stores are pretty scarce. And on a ground level, it sounds like someone's up for sale. But that might be an exclusive here on the U Spray podcast. But there are murmurs around. That's what's happening. Yeah, if you're a wattle person out there for years. Apparently, that's what's going on. But time will tell. But
wouldn't surprise me. That seems to happen every couple of months.
Well, I mean, yeah. And people say, why would they do that? The simple fact that the numbers look better when there's no stock.
Yes.
Yeah. When there's no stock coming in and stuff going out, it looks pretty good. So anyway, that's our theory. Yeah, unfortunately, our mate, Pete from Arista Spray, who's, we've worked with over the last couple of years, who was leading up Q-Tech in Australia. Unfortunately, he's no longer doing his thing there. But not unfortunately, he's going on to something different. Wanted a bit of a change of scenery. So Q-Tech no longer in Australia. Another exclusive, we have all the parts remaining in Australia. So if you need Q-Tech parts, reach out to us. But I don't know what that holds in Australia for that brand. I mean, we're happy to fill the void there. Obviously, Q-Tech's big in UK, but not so much here. So that's happened recently. Another thing I wanted to mention, everyone knows I'm a big Seattle Seahawks fan, and they're kicking butt at the moment. Big game against the Rams next week. Top of the table clash, NFC. If any of you guys are NFL fans, and my poor mate Toddy over here is a Jacksonville Jaguars fan that we're looking good for a while, but they're floundering a little bit.
Let's be honest, they never actually look good.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Oh, they might be back. Yeah, and NBA's back for them, so that excites me. Love me some NBA. Utah's struggling for you, unfortunately. Walker Kessler out for the season, so your season's done. Lakers going all right.
Thanks to Nico Harris.
Oh yeah, Nico Harrison fine. That's news today. That's a Woj bomb. That he's gone after trading Luka Doncic, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Other exciting news since we last got on here is we also have some new distributors on board. So listen up, because these guys will be stocking our gear if they don't have it already, and you can go check it out. Always they're independent store owners, so if you're not supporting them, you should, because they're going to be bringing you our stuff at great prices, obviously without backing. So get amongst it. That's Cowra Paint Place, Inspirations Wagga, Mitre 10 Kincumber, The Paint Shed at Parks, and this week, Network Render and Painting in Sydney, who have a few stores down there. Melanie's team coming on board with us, which is super exciting. And also something else that we wanted to talk about is we've been getting a lot of inquiries from people in Sydney and the Central Coast as well, because Newcastle's not too far away, wanting their stuff repaired and serviced. And with our distributors now growing in Sydney, we will be offering a courier service. Once a week, we'll be making the trip down there to drop off any of our stock that we need to, and we will be picking up machines to bring them back to our shop in Newcastle to get them fixed, and then hopefully return them back to you the following week when we come down. So that's exciting, giving another dimension to the business, and with so many people reaching out from Sydney, I'm sure they're excited about that. If you are a painter in Sydney and you're looking for repairs and servicing, we can help you out with that. We don't have anyone in Sydney as yet that will repair and service the machines on our behalf, so we'll be offering that to you. So reach out if you want some more details and watch this space. Yeah, and the other thing I'll mention at the start, like about this whole Christmas rush thing, isn't it just crazy that every man and their dog, it's like, oh, what are we doing for Christmas? Where are we going? We're at home. It's going to be at our place. Shit, we better get stuff painted. And everyone's reaching out to painters. And, the first thing is, I want it done before Christmas. So painters are, flying around everywhere, trying to get things done. It's a pretty stressful time for everyone. It's like people go mad. It just happens every year, but sometimes the run starts a little bit earlier, and I think it probably did start a bit earlier, especially here in like Newcastle and surrounding areas with all that rain we had, July, August, like things got pushed back. Jobs filled up, so I put people more under the pump coming into Christmas. So is everyone being pretty busy up in Brizzy?
Yeah,
you notice?
everyone's been. I mean, we've been really busy. Like just from the spray gun club point of view, been crazy. It's funny when you're like at that point where it's like slow and you're growing. Like there's the stresses that come with that, cash flow and whatnot. But it's like once you're super busy, you think it'd be less stressful, but it's like it's just got its own levels, types of stresses. But one thing I was going to say when you were talking about that was it amazes me how many painters will tell you October, September, man, I'm booked out till like February, March, or April. And I think knowing full well that they're going to slammed in November, December, the pre-rush for Christmas. And I always think like, why not leave November, November, December open? Because there's an opportunity there to make a bit more money because no one's going to have time to do it, And so it's just crazy to me that I'm booked out to February, March. And it's like, I don't even know how you do that. When you consider the weather, how random and unpredictable it is. Yeah, it just absolutely boggles my mind. And then now you got these guys that are booked out that long that are absolutely under the pump right now. And it's like, it's great. But it's like potentially there's an opportunity there to not be so much under the pump and make a bit more margin.
Yeah, there's definitely that goes on around the Christmas time. And what I used to find funny is that you would get people ring you up and wanting quotes, and I said, want it done before Christmas, and you give them a quote going, that's way too expensive. It's like, okay, well, you want me here next week, and then they ring you back and say, oh, I rang everyone else and they said they can't do it. I'm like, yeah, so it's weird in that sense because in the current world we live in, when it comes to like, Uber Eats or Amazon or Express Post, like you pay more for Express, right? But it's like when it comes to painting or trades in general, it's like I need it done next week, but then they blow up at the price, and it's like, well, I mean, what world do you live in if you want to skip the queue at the nightclub? Like where don't you pay? It's just the way it works. But people, the expectations of people is just wild to me with that. So yeah, I was always happy to quote people, even though if I was under the pump, and everyone gets in this state. Like sometimes it's too hard to ignore. And you're like, oh yeah, I'll try to squeeze it. And then you squeeze another job and you put yourself under the pump. And I mean, there's guys out there that'll say, oh, I don't like putting myself under the pump. I don't want to be stressed out. And I'm like, I think some chaos and some stress is good because it means you really got to, you got to churn, you got to get through the work. So everything speed up, it's heightened, it's, moving quicker, trying to be more efficient, and you're just working harder. Yeah. Like that's how I always, looked at it, that, it's even like, for example, like getting a mortgage, right? You work hard to get your mortgage and, a lot of the time you're probably extending yourself on the mortgage, but you've got to live up to that because you've got to pay it or you lose your house. Yeah. So it's amazing, like when you're in that sort of state, when you have to get stuff done, you will, so that's how I look at it with painting. You get the chaos, you get the extra work in, and you start squeezing harder. And that's, that I feel like October to December, like, generally can be the biggest quarter of the year. And something, I talk to guys about this in business all the time, and they're like, oh, mate, I just like being booked out. I like, job to job. I just don't like being stressed. And I'm like, to be honest, man, when I've been busy, I've been stressed. When I'm not busy, I'm even more stressed because you don't know when work's coming. And then even if you're in the middle, there's something else that's stressing you out. It might be your wife, might be your kids, might be, it could be anything. Life in general is going to provide you stress, whether you like it or not. And I think the difference between business people in general is the management of stress. You know what I mean? How you manage with it, how do you deal with it? And that's something that I've learned over years of experience. I've just ran myself into the ground a couple of times where I'm just working, I'm stressed to the eyeballs, I'm eating bad, I'm like super unfit, like I'm overweight, haven't been doing anything and just not even getting that time, like that mental space to myself. And I really understand how important that is. And, I know that there's a lot of tradies that they drink booze to deal with that kind of stuff. They're stressing that. But if anything, it makes it sort of work. And look, everyone's got different vices. I know what works for me. It's not going to work for everyone else. But I think the reality is that, you're always going to be stressed. What are you doing to manage it? Like when you do have a lot of work, and that's why I think it's important that guys are always, chasing the work or have like the importance of in social media, and if you're running Google ads and those type of things, or sponsoring sporting clubs, or you're active, even though like a lot of people get active in Facebook groups and stuff like that to grow their business. But I think you've always got to be doing something, because things can change pretty quick in your business if you're not playing with that level of scarcity.
I guess in a way too, it's like if you get that right, the rest of the year when it's not as busy, it'd probably be less stressful.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a busy time of year for everyone, and I'm sure, yeah, it's foot to the floor at the moment. So another couple of things at the moment. Like, what else we got going on? We've got our new tips coming. Toddy, you have that one there? Lose it already.
Oh no.
Not the demo tip. Stand by, please. Oh, there it is. So we've got our new tips that will be hitting our shores very soon. Yeah, so we've changed a few designs on them. They spray amazing. We've taken customer feedback on our first lot of tips, and we've tried to change that so they are more user friendly. Even though they're happy with the performance, there's we're always learning, trying to get better and improve our accessories and our machines in general, because yes, we do want to be the best in spray and give our customers the best products so they can be successful. So yeah, tips. We're working on a few different cordless options at the moment that are pretty cool. So hopefully we'll be set on the design for them very shortly. And what else have we got happening at the moment? I've got some big dogs coming soon.
Hydraulic driven petrol machines, like real thick products, real big jobs, waterproofing membranes, that sort of stuff. We're exploring
roof membrane, obviously, it eats.
Yeah. We're exploring texture machines, we're exploring everything really. We're finding the right customers that have an appetite for a specific market. We've kind of eased our way into that initially because we just don't have the time to do it. But we're finding the right partners that are more expert in that space than we are, and so it makes sense to work with them and let them sort of carry that for us. Exciting times ahead, I think.
Yes, very exciting times. So they'll be out soon. Our new hand pieces will be here shortly as well. Yeah, look to get your hands on one of those. They're pretty cool. We showcased in one of our recent podcasts with the spraying mantis on the handle engraved. They are sick and they spray real nice. So
one thing about that. So one of the issues you have with most of the common premium handpieces on the market is they've gone down this route of we want really light triggers. And the problem with a really light trigger is because it's so easy to pull, a lot of guys find it comfortable to pull, and they're, I won't say lazy, but they're comfortable when they pull it, and they're comfortable when they let it go. It's actually creates a spit. So we first started off by bringing in ones that had a bit of a heavy trigger, just to avoid that, because now you have to commit and you have to let go. Like it forces itself shut. Didn't quite work. So these new ones will actually be right at the right spot. So they're actually they're really light. Not quite as light as some of the other ones, but they're light enough to where you have to give a little bit of a pull, which forces you to open it quicker, which is good, and then heavy enough to when you let go of it, it kind of assists with the shut. And so it goes past that breaking point quickly. So it'll actually have a positive impact on spinning, which is good.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So, yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. Anyway, that concludes our podcast for today. That's another episode in the books. And until next time, keep spraying.